The Golden Knights remain winless on the road as they fall to division foe Los Angeles in LA 6-3 Wednesday night. Our recap comes your way next, right here on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights.
You're Locked On Golden Knights, your daily podcast on the Vegas Golden Knights, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hi again, everyone. Tony Cardasco, Chris Golick from Las Vegas. Thanks for making us your first listen, your team every day. Find us wherever you get your podcasts. Please make sure to subscribe to our Locked On Golden Knights YouTube channel. We are brought to you today by FanDuel. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Bruce Cassidy called his team sloppy in the aftermath of last night's 6-3 loss, especially the VGK defense from the blue line back. He called the first goal a gift. And then rush coverage, he said, wasn't that good, Chris. A 2-on-2 turns into a goal. Other scoring chances after the Warren Foegele goal and the goal by Adrian Kempe. The Kings, they built this lead to 4-0 in the second period and never looked back. LA with a 6-3 win. The VGK goals on the night last night, 2 by Pavel Dorofeev, 1 on the power play. He's up to 6 goals now on the campaign. And Tanner Pearson, the former LA King himself, with the goal. What were some of your takeaways, Mr. Golick?
Golden Knights sucked last night. It was, I don't know how else to say it. I don't know if that's the most professional way, but that's certainly what happened. I watched from about the second period on, but before I started watching, I watched the goal replays from the first period. And I'll start by saying, I said this a number of times, Samsonov is a good goaltender. Samsonov will have pockets of very decent play. And you're going to see, like you saw in that first period, more times than you probably would like to, where it's just a very strange decision leads to a goal for the opposition. And then he can't save a shot where he has a clean view of it. And all of a sudden the Golden Knights are chasing the game early. And it's not just Samsonov. I mean, Samsonov put the team behind the 8 ball. But after that, obviously, the Golden Knights structure was bad. It was just bad. And what got me, and it was kind of a joke, but it was also serious. I saw you liked my flash comments the other day or last night.
Thank you.
You had the Kings out there. Exactly. They were making roller hockey moves. Brandt Clark is doing 360s and toe dragging, and they're good. They're good skill plays. Let's be clear about this. But these are also plays where you just put one person on their keister. They usually stop doing it, and the Golden Knights couldn't stop it. So full credit to the Kings. They played well. It was a tough spot for the Kings, obviously, after the loss to the Sharks the previous night, back-to-back. And the Kings were able to build an early lead, and when they got a little tired legs late, the game was out of reach at that point, so it really didn't matter that the Golden Knights got a few late goals.
Mark Stone said that the second and third goals were given up in the middle of the ice, and that's something that VGK cannot do. They lost control in the neutral zone last night. End of story.
Yeah, no, that's the defensive structure when it breaks down what happens. What was it, the Flames game? No odd man rushes, right? I think we were talking about
that's
that,
right.
if I'm not mistaken.
Absolutely.
So, I do like one thing I like about Mark Stone when the team has these bad losses, and we've seen this for like the last 4 or 5 seasons since he's been captain. He's usually out there to do the interview afterwards. So full credit to Mark Stone for wearing that captain's badge and understanding what it means and being out there to face the media and everything like that. So good to see Mark Stone talking about the game. I think attention to detail was something he referenced as well in his post-game presser. And I mean, listen, it's an 82-game season. These games are going to happen, all right? It's in the grand scheme of things, they sucked on Wednesday night. Who cares? Moving on. Okay, well, we'll talk in the second segment why maybe that it's starting to become a trend, these road losses and what's happening here. So grand scheme of things, is there a major concern level after a game like this? I don't think so, but there are a few things that you see that could possibly be a sign of maybe things to come as well. And you wonder which way it's going to go. We won't know, obviously, for a few months.
Happy Halloween, by the way, to everyone, of course, out there. Do you give away the full bars of candy, or do you invite parents to your full bar?
No one's coming in our house.
Okay.
No, we'll start by trick or treating with the family, and then I'll probably crack a beer and give out some candy while sitting on the driveway. But no, it's going to be just small candy handfuls. We don't get a ton of trick or treaters, so we give away probably full handfuls of candy. And then Chris and Allie were actually at heart, so I have a bunch of like base cards from my business sitting around. Base cards are no value cards. They're basically less than pennies as far as in the currency grand scheme of things. And the kids were going through a bunch of the cards, making little packs of cards with all Golden Knights players. So kids that come by our house, at least the first 20 or so kids will be getting some Golden Knights cards.
Oh, wow. That's a great idea. That really is. And yeah, the ones that are worth no value, like a Vegas Bjorn card or two, is what you're getting at. I get it. Tomas Hertl, the big hit on him last night, goes to the locker room and then he returns. A little bit wobbly.
All right, so let's break this thing down. Number one, Hertl, rookie mistake out there, has his head down, center ice, going for the puck. He gets hits. No penalty is called when it happens. No one's arms go up. That's what the commentators said. Okay. Hertl's woozy. Hertl looks like he's concussed. Looks terrible. He got his bell rung. It happens. Whatever. Oh, we got an injury on the ice. We're gonna have to give a 5-minute major just in case there was actually a penalty. It took 40 seconds for Toronto to review it and rescind the major penalty that was given on the play. That drives me nuts. The Cole Schwindt play, we talked about this. Cole Schwindt actually takes an elbow to the head. That's a dangerous play, but he doesn't go down. He doesn't get stretchered off. He doesn't sit on the ice and milk it. Not that Hertl did. I didn't say that. Relax. But he doesn't do what a lot of superstars will do in that circumstance. So therefore, it's a 2-minute penalty. No one cares. Like, that just drives me absolutely nuts. But listen, Hertl's got his head down. The puck is at his feet. He didn't possess the puck. That's what some people, I think, are failing to miss on this. But you don't need to possess the puck to become a player who is eligible to be hit, so to speak. The puck is at his feet. That point is fair game. The head is down. He gets his bell rung. Good hit by the Kings player. Didn't knock him out or anything like that. Was certainly a good hit. And I'm with Ken on Sinbin on this one here. Ken was absolutely dragging the decision that was made to get Hertl back in that game when it was out of reach. Why is Hertl going back out there? Coach Cassidy post-game says, hey, he was cleared, good to go. He wanted to come back. Okay. Hopefully there's no effects tomorrow. Wait a minute here. Hold on a second. We're bringing back a player like Tomas Hertl, and we're going to hope that everything is okay tomorrow. Let's get it back in the third period of this game. That, for lack of a better term, I don't know if this is the word that Ken used or not, but this is the word I'm going to use. It's a boneheaded decision to get Hertl back in this game. Boneheaded decision.
That post-game presser, you know what? I think that Bruce Cassidy would be better served if the VGK staff brought some of the lighting from Excess Nightclub.
Bad lighting. Looked like it was like 2 p.m. there and the sun was on him, huh?
It was really bad. Really, it looked like he was under the boardwalk in Santa Monica. That's what it looked like to me. I couldn't see him, really.
I love Santa Monica up here.
I know. I just threw that out there. I do, too. Keegan Colasar had a fight last night. First one of the season,
I actually didn't watch the highlights. Was it a good fight? Any body blows?
Okay. He fought England. Coley did throw the body punches, but the judges here in the Dasco household had it at 10-10. It was a draw. I thought it was a draw. You're punching guys in their helmet. It's no effect. I mean, seriously.
I'm with you.
There weren't very good shots landed. And literally, it was England with a nice check into the boards. But then he threw a little bit of sauce there at the end, like a last-second shot there, and then they went. So that was
cool.
Yeah, it was good. Good to see some action there. Very physical game, as you mentioned, with those hits and all. Kevin Fiala was back in the lineup, and he scored a power play goal for LA last night. Oh, man.
Yeah,
I want to know what happened there, the drama. No one.
Everything seems like he just missed the meeting. What the reasoning was, I don't know. But
He's pissed. He was mad.
Yeah, no, it definitely seemed like a snafu by that the player is going to have to own on this one here. And, it's just weird. You mentioned the physicality of the game. I mean, is this, again, it's one game, relax, but is this the blueprint to beat the Golden Knights? What we saw last night. You that top line, you neutralize it by, for lack of a better term, trying to beat the crap out of them and having a very physical game instead of trying to match speed for speed or goal for goal. You just make it the primary objective to punish the top line and see what happens after that. And a lot of hitting on both ways. Barbashev was up to the challenge. McNabb had some hits. Like, it was a fun hockey game to watch with the physicality. And a reminder that this Kings Golden Knights rivalry has some pretty deep roots, at least as far as the Golden Knights are concerned. This was the first ever team the Golden Knights played in the playoff series. Drew Doughty obviously gave the Golden Knights the locker room, the stuff on the whiteboard. What am I looking for? Locker room material, is that the terminology?
Whatever material.
Whatever I'm looking for here, by making the comment that the Kings will be the better team by the end of the year, and then the Golden Knights obviously swept them out of the playoffs. So fun rivalry still continuing with the Kings and Golden Knights. And did the Kings expose the Golden Knights last night? I don't know if I'm willing to go that far because of the road, home road split. But that said, credit the Kings. It was a good hockey game by them. Weird betting line. I put a post out there about 3 hours before the game. I said my heart says VGK tonight. I picked VGK for locks of the night, but the better in me, this line was just wonky. That line was really, really weird. I felt
what it closed at. What it closed?
Favorite. Opened at minus 120 locally for VGK. I saw 135 about 90 minutes to puck drop. So a lot of VGK money came in during the day to move a line. To move a hockey line 15 cents. That's a pretty strong shift.
The first 10 games, I gave VGK a B. Game number 11, I gave him a D. Sloppy. Coming up next, we'll talk about why VGK cannot win on the road. We'll get to that. Our psychologist, Golick, will give us some insight after these messages on Locked On Golden Knights. Get ready to tackle the NFL action with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, because right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. The FanDuel Sportsbook app gives you everything you need to place all of your live bets on the NFL all in one place. Tonight is no different. You can go there, and last I checked, the New York Football Jets, a 2-point favorite over the Texans. The total on this game is 42. And we're just going to throw away baseball season. It's over. So when you get a hunch in the middle of the game, you can check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more with the same page where you place your bets. Just visit FanDuel.com to join today. You will get started with $150 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. Again, that's FanDuel.com. Never waste a hunch and make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the National Football League. Back on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights, Tony Cardasco and Chris Golick reporting from Las Vegas. Thank you so much for making us your first listen every day. Find us where you get your podcast. Please subscribe to our Locked On Golden Knights YouTube channel. Of course, Fridays are WTF. That's tomorrow already, so start lining them up, folks. Really do enjoy reading your comments, good, bad, about us, about the team, about the Golick approach and tradition on Halloween, anything that's on your mind. And, of course, Saturdays, the Chris and Chris Jr. Show, the YouTube exclusive. Do not miss that. Why are the Golden Knights having a difficult time winning on the road? VGK unbeaten at home, as we know. They, again, are 7-0 at home. They have not won yet on the road. They've lost 4 games. Why are the Golden Knights having difficulties on the road so far? Just like the Golden Knights have had their schedule very advantageous at home for the most part, save the LA Kings game where they come off of a back-to-back. Their opponents have had an advantageous home schedule when VGK arrives, pretty much. We could blame travel. Hey, are they getting their practice on the road? I'm sorry, I had to go there. But what do you think some of the difficulties are for VGK winning games away from home?
Let's talk about the schedule, the advantageous situation. The Golden Knights had a lot of home cooking. 7 games of their first 10 at home. Not bad. That certainly helps. And then the teams that they played and the situations in which they played those teams. Let's talk about the teams the Golden Knights lost to. Florida Panthers. Florida Panthers are 7-3-1. They sit at top of the Atlantic. The Tampa Bay Lightning are 7-3-0. They sit right behind the Florida Panthers in the Atlantic. Washington Capitals. They're 6-2 this year, Tony. They're 6-2. Only
Logan
played
Thompson,
8 games.
3 wins, 4 wins. What's he up to?
Logan's doing great right now. He hasn't lost yet.
3-0,
hasn't
right?
lost a game yet.
Yeah.
So the Caps are 6-2. They actually have the highest. They're tied for the highest point percentage in the Metro right now. Okay, that's 3 decent teams. The LA Kings are now second place. I think they were second place coming into last night's game in the Pacific Division. So, for lack of a better term, the Golden Knights are bum slaying right now a little bit. They are beating poor teams in good situations for the Vegas Golden Knights. I mean, who's the best team the Golden Knights beat at home? Ottawa? Ottawa wasn't doing bad. Where's Ottawa right now?
Yeah.
Ottawa they're fourth in the Atlantic. They're 5-4 in the Atlantic. Okay. Are the Blues doing anything this year? They're 5-5. Avalanche, have they gotten any better yet?
They've been up and down.
They're still terrible.
Yeah.
The Sharks are terrible. The Ducks aren't very good. I mean, so are we starting to talk about a Golden Knights team that maybe isn't very good?
Well, that's been our
Is
question.
that happening, Tony? Are the Golden Knights, like we gave our grades yesterday? I gave them a B++. You gave them a B-. And
no, I gave them a solid B.
Solid.
B.
Well, you said 80% though. I thought that's a B-.
Solid B. I don't know what that equates to.
Listen, a B's a B in my household when I was going to school, so I'll take a B- and be happy about it. But the American public, the Golden Knight fans, if you will, they agreed with me in my assessment of a B++. But I'm starting to wonder if the Golden Knights are just simply not that good. I don't know.
We've asked ourselves that question, and we've asked the fans the same question.
Well, the fans will give you a good answer. Great answer.
Yeah, of course. A lot of them, they're on the Kool-Aid. They're very quiet after I predicted. I had to taunt fans last night. Very quiet. I picked the Kings. The Kings won, and no one getting saucy with me last night. I was looking for the.
Didn't you pick Pearson also, Tony?
What's that?
Didn't you have Pearson also as a goal scorer too?
I did have Pearson as a goal
scorer.
Who
got the first goal for the Golden Knights?
I'm on fire. I'm
got
really
the first goal,
hot.
Pearson. All right. Okay.
Yeah, Pearson. I'm very hot with my predictions right now, with the players and with the team winning, and I've nailed the score like twice. So I give myself an A+. Mark Stone says you try to win the games on the road. Can you go 41-0 at home? Something to that effect. It was pretty funny, I thought. But he's like, yeah, we want to win. We definitely want to win on the road. It's just not happening right now. He was good last night. His comments were good.
Well, Stone's always good. I mean, he's always going to give you the temperature or the state of the union for the Golden Knights, the state of the team. That's why he's a great captain. It's one of the many reasons he's a great captain. But back to the Golden Knights here, and again, we're simply reacting to the sample size now. I'm not saying the Golden Knights are bad. I'm also not going to say they're good right now. What I am going to say is the Golden Knights have beaten teams in plus circumstances for the Vegas Golden Knights. The Golden Knights have struggled on the road against decent teams. So is the problem the home road splits? Or is the problem when the Golden Knights play advanced competition, they don't measure up well? I think that's honestly the bigger question right now. Of course, listen, the Golden Knights got a decent home ice advantage as far as the crowd and everything. I say decent because you get a lot of road fans and stuff. I don't think it's as great as people think as far as the home ice advantage for the Golden Knights, but it is still a home ice advantage for the Vegas Golden Knights. They're in their own beds. They're at home. It's familiarity. You go on the road, it's different. And I get that certainly changes things a little bit, but I'm not of the mindset it's the home road split. I'm of the mindset the Golden Knights are struggling against better competition as the standings and the data and the evidence dictates, not the eye test, not an emotional reaction, what the statistics tell us, what the evidence tells us right now.
Yeah, and then if you're VGK and you're watching the Kings play the Sharks, you think, wow, we've got a great advantage. Just fly through the neutral zone. We talked about that in our preview, and, everything works out. But Credit the Kings. They came back to life there, and they pulled away early from the VGK. Another thing on the road, VGK has blown leads, right, in half of those games on the road.
No lead against the Caps, but they led against Tampa and Florida. Yes, so 2 of the 4 games they blew third period leads.
Yeah. I
7
thought that
minutes left in Florida, 2 minutes left in Tampa.
They had some fight in them last night because Dorofeev still kept playing, and he got goals, 5 and 6 on the season late in that contest last night.
Had those stats, Doro. Had those stats. Kids finally started to figure it out.
It was pretty good, though, that they kept battling there. And I think if they got one more goal, they would have had a lot more confidence there, and it could have become.
They had chances. They had chances at the end, and there was some Barbashev at the outside of the post or the crossbar. I think Brisson had a late. We'll talk about Brisson in the third segment. But Brisson, I think, hit the post late. So I mean, it could have been a 2-goal game with a minute left. You never know. I mean, it could have been one of those comebacks that they write songs about. There was a game that I recall. I don't know if this was season 6 or 7. But same thing where the Golden Knights just kind of played bad. I think Will Carey scored like 2 late goals or something like that to make the score sheet kind of respectable, I guess. And that's kind of what happened last night. But I honestly, 6-1, 6-3, I don't think it changes any perspective. But they could have gotten 6-4 with over a minute left. And okay, you got something. And the Golden Knights got Utah on Saturday, and Utah I think is middling after a hot start. They're 5-4. We'll see.
Those injuries,
what
their
happens.
Defensemen.
They got all the injuries and stuff.
Yeah,
and
Jersey,
hold on, Tony. Let's just check this right now. I might
no,
send Tony off the coop right now.
Please, come on, don't do this to me.
All right, they're not playing on Friday. You're good, Tony. You're good.
Okay, that's good. That's good news. VGK's they've got to solve some of these issues on the road because the road gets more difficult pretty soon.
I don't think it's the road, Tony. I'm gonna put a stat out in a little while after the show is over. And I'm gonna tell you why it's not the road.
Okay. Oh, you mentioned Anaheim too. Were they 500 last I checked? Are they a 500 team right now? I thought that they were playing a little bit above their heads early on.
The Anaheim Ducks currently sit 6th place in the Pacific, 4-1. Technically, they're over 500 as far as points. Well, their points percentage, they got 9 points in 9 games, so they're 500 point percentage. So,
that's better.
500 is across the board.
Better than we thought. Better than expected.
It's I don't know. It's 9 games in. Let's just like the Golden Knights are 11 games in. We're not going to make any major. Okay, relax.
Did you have a? Oh, they didn't play 10 games yet. We need to do their 10-game grade. I think on tomorrow's show. Coming up next, strange lineup decisions continue. We'll talk about that when we return.
Tilts
right here on Locked On Golden Knights. PrizePicks, it's the best place to get real money sports action. Over 10 million members, billions of dollars in awarded winnings. PrizePicks has made the daily fantasy sports accessible to everyone. You just pick more or less, at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. 100 times your cash. Run your game all season long on PrizePicks. PrizePicks, the best way to get action on sports in over 30 states. And this includes California, Florida, Georgia, and Texas. It's the only real money fantasy platform with an injury insurance policy. That's right. Your lineup stays in play even if one of your players gets injured. If your player leaves in the first half and doesn't return, PrizePicks keeps your lineup alive. And it puts all their members first, I should say. So all withdrawals are fast, they're safe, they're secure. And when the picks hit, you get your money as fast as 15 minutes after the action is over. PrizePicks, the best way to get real money this football season. Which players are going off, which ones are not. Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your sports opinions into real money all season long. Download the app today. Use that promo code LOCKEDONNHL. You'll receive $50 instantly when you play only $5. Check it out, folks. PrizePicks. Back on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights from Las Vegas, Tony Cardasco and Chris Golick reporting. Thanks so much for making us your first listen every day. You could find us wherever you get your podcasts. I consult for the Vegas Thrill, the women's pro volleyball team. So we have some activations today. While you are there drinking your beer, sitting on your porch, and having fun, engaging with all the parents and the kids, we're going to be doing an activation at Town Square, where they're expected to have 20,000 kids running wild out there. It's trick-or-treating. It's safe. So that's something cool to take the
Ain't
kid
nothing safe when you put 20,000 kids around with sugar and candy. Run.
Oh, and I'm going to give them as much candy as possible, too. Get them all hyped up. And then also we'll be out at the district today. So they have their annual Halloween event there. So they're in Henderson. Of course,
Mayhem.
What's that?
Mayhem.
It is. Most people run away from the fire. Not this guy. I just go right into the heart of it. It's so much fun. I want to ask some questions here. You last night had texted me, about strange lineup decisions. We talked about jumbleitis yesterday. We haven't seen much of that, but we're seeing Cassidy, when he does have a pretty solid lineup, he suddenly inserts someone. So last night, you thought that on Halloween Eve, it was, I don't know, it wasn't a scary move, but he inserted Brandon Brisson into the lineup. I don't know where I'm going. Tanner Pearson has played. He started, obviously, the 2 contests against the Kings. So he plays against his former team. And Cole Schwint got the start there, even though he's not a winger, against his former team, Cal Gary. So what is Cassidy trying to do here?
So I reached out to a few people. I was wondering, so we talked about Cole Schwint. I was wondering, first of all, if Schwint was possibly feeling effects from that hit that we referenced in the first segment. If that's the case, that's unfortunate. Hopefully he'll be back on the ice as soon as possible. When Brendan Brisson draws on to that 4th line, it changes everything. Brisson's not a 4th line player. There's not a world that exists where Brendan Brisson will be a successful everyday NHL player if his role is limited to being on the 4th line. It takes away the complete identity of that line with elite goal scorer Keegan Kolesar as of late and Nicholas Waugh. So again, everyone I talked to 2 different people, I even saw it on Twitter as well, so it's got to be true. Brisson is from Southern California, somewhere nearby, somewhere in LA.
One of the beach cities.
Yeah,
there.
exactly. Perfect. So so the quotes were throwing him a bone, throwing the kid a bone, letting him play against the hometown team and stuff.
Fair.
No, it's not. It's stupid. Why are the Golden Knights doing these things with the lineups? You have goalie tryouts happening now. So the Golden Knights are tailoring their lineup to make sure that Aiden Hill is getting reps in front of coaches for Team Canada. That makes the least sense in the world to me.
And now we're taking Brendan on the road.
Exactly. And now we're taking Brendan Brisson. I mean, listen, we're not okay. Listen, if Samsonov is from California, okay, put Samsonov. Let's give Samsonov this start if it's a former team or whatever. That's fine. It's
Manhattan Beach. Manhattan Beach is where he's from.
Okay, yeah, there you go. He's a starting goaltender and everything. Like, fine, whatever. But I'm sorry, but for lack of a better term, Brandon Brisson is a nobody in this lineup. Okay, I will gladly say that right now. And you're taking out Cole Schwint, who, by the way, just had a breakout game against a very good Calgary Flames team, getting 2 assists in a very important victory for the Vegas Golden Knights at home. So why is Coach Cassidy screwing around and getting Brisson a game against the LA Kings? I don't understand. I don't care about throwing bones. I don't care about Team Canada. I care about the Golden Knights putting the best possible lineup out there to get 2 points. And listen, they could have had 3 line ones of Eichel, Barbashev, and Stone out there, and the Golden Knights would have lost that game last night because of the way they played. So in the grand scheme of things, the result doesn't change, I don't think, with Brisson in or out of the lineup. Butterfly effect, whatever, fine, who cares? But this is the NHL. And all of a sudden now, I mean, I made the joke, Cassidy is becoming a player's coach all of a sudden. And if that's the case, I don't like it. I don't like that one bit. I like I like the Cassidy that pisses the players off. I like the Cassidy that holds the team to a high standard. I like the Cassidy that wears out the locker room, because that version of the Golden Knights plays a little bit better. I don't care about Brendan Brisson getting a start on the fourth line because he's from Manhattan Beach or whatever the heck you said a second ago. It's not a wise decision. And the Golden Knights, these are precious points. These are precious points that the Golden Knights are leaving on the table right now. There's not a world that exists where the Golden Knights should not have routed the Kings last night. Yet let's make sure Brendan Brisson gets a look out there against because he's from Manhattan Beach. Who cares? I'm sorry, that's ridiculous.
4-point divisional games, as you mentioned, are so important. They really are.
No, apparently not. We're gonna get Brendan Brisson to start. No, they're not important at all. No big deal.
I wanted to ask you now, what becomes of the goaltending rotation? What happens now? Because we thought that Sammy was number one. He was starting to play better. You always said, you warned us. You had that disclaimer about, folks, he's rocky, man, at best. So, and I'm not talking Balboa. He's not sloppy. Sloppy is the word. So now what happens? What becomes of this goalie rotation now?
So the schedule is pretty friendly. Go figure, Tony. As far as the Golden Knights are concerned, there's no back-to-backs until the Wednesday, November 20th to Thursday, the 21st, and that's a road situation. The starts, I think, are now 6 for Aiden and 5 for Samsonov. So I would assume that they're going to mix it up. They're going to go every other game. I think they're trying, and this is not a bad thing. Like, I like that the Golden Knights finally figured out that they can't wear Aiden Hill down too much if they want him late in the season. So I would say they're going to go 50-50 for a while, I think, until A, one of the goalies establishes themselves, or B, if there's an issue in the standings where the Golden Knights are suddenly starting to chase teams ahead of them, then I think they'll shade a little more to Aiden Hill. And again, the situation can change as far as performance and everything. Coach Cassidy put that disclaimer out there. But long story longer, 50-50 split until one of these goalies establishes themselves. And while Samsonov has kind of established himself, last night was a reminder of a version of Samsonov we're going to see a lot more this season.
No, that's not the way the rotation is going to go. As soon as this VGK team gets to Canada, more goalie tryouts for Aiden Hill.
Oh, God, you did it.
I had to do that.
Tony. Like, this is absolute garbage. It's absolute garbage that you just want to tilt me again.
For Team Canada. They're playing for Team Canada. These are tryouts for Team Canada.
How about you play for that crest on the front of your jersey and the season ticket holders who invest 5 figures into this team? How about we focus on that for a little bit?
And to admit that he was parading Aiden Hill out there for tryouts was next level.
It was stupid. It was boneheaded. It was dumb. Idiotic.
We appreciate everyone, like Hertl's return, right, last night. We appreciate
stupid, idiotic.
We appreciate everyone tuning in. Thank you so much, especially our everydayers who put up with these shenanigans each and every day.
Boneheaded, stupid, idiotic shenanigans.
Up. Please line up all your comments. Why are you talking over me? You're pulling a Cardasco. Tomorrow's WTF.
What?
Saturday is the Chris Golick show. Thanks so much for tuning in.
Happy Halloween. Drive carefully tonight. I will talk over you to make sure. You might have had that coming, but if you don't have that coming, I'll get it in there. Drive safe. Watch out for the kids tonight, please, everybody.
For my man, Chris Golick, I'm Tony Cardasco, and all that I do have is please take care.